Good evening, everyone. This is Royce coming back at you with yet another Let's Try. Hold on. There we go. There we go. Tonight on the docket we have Benedict Cracker Barrel. Unfortunately, it got a little in transit. It also had to wait in the fridge because, honestly, this is kind of a spur of the moment purchase. So I went to Cracker Barrel because I had a Walmart order to pick up, but I had to wait an hour for it to be ready. So I stopped in at Cracker Barrel and to wait out the clock. Ordered my usual, which may be covered on fast food phase eventually. And I saw they had this new item, and I'm like, well, I should probably try it for the channel. And it is the Biscuit Benedict. Poached eggs atop sausage, atop biscuits topped with hollandaise sauce. And then for my two sides, I got my usual hash brown casserole. Which is one of the best things in the Cracker Barrel's menu. But let's crack it. Now, this is kind of starting off on the back foot for me already because I don't like eggs and I'm not a big fan of sausage. But I don't want to compromise the dish, so I didn't order scrambled, which is, in my opinion, the only way to eat eggs properly. And I ordered the sausage because I never try the sausage, but I've had the bacon there, so I'm like, oh, I'll give the sausage a chance. Maybe it's good. That is actually pretty good. The sausage is very smoky. The biscuit, despite being in the fridge all day, after microwaving a little bit, still pretty soft. But let's crack into the yolk. The yolk did set a little bit, but that's to be expected. There are some tomatoes and peppers here. So apparently they don't poach eggs anymore. They baste them, which is basically the same as poaching, but I assume you pour hot water over it instead of, swirling it around. I don't know how the chef intended me to enjoy. I literally asked, how does the chef intend? Which I feel like is such a pretentious thing to say, especially at a restaurant like Cracker Barrel. Excuse me. I'm actually very pleasantly surprised by the sausage patties. They remind me of the pork and bacon sausage my mom and dad used to get. Farmland pork and bacon sausage. The best sausage links you will ever have. Now, like for a reheated dish, this is holding up really well. The hollandaise is a little bland, but that's okay. Honestly, hollandaise sauce is the main reason to order an Eggs Benedict, in my opinion, and in my grandma's opinion, too. She'll order it with extra hollandaise sauce. Because then you can pour it over your hash browns, your toast, whatever. I gotta say, the sausage really is a standout star here. And originally I was ordering it with the bacon, like, eh. And then I'm like, Royce, you're being too cowardly. Try the sausage. And I do not regret it. It's a good dish. Here's some of the sausage on its own there. And see, it's pretty real. It's not like the processed sausage patties you get at a hotel like I work at. It's, or at a McDonald's. It's got a nice ground to it. It's smoked, so it's got kind of a pink color, but it's not undercooked, obviously. And like it's very smoky, so it's a very dominant flavor. It's a good dish. And of course, you got all these tomatoes and peppers that are more or less set dressing. They're garnish. And we finish off with our hash brown casserole. Like I said, one of their, what I would call one of the keystones of uh, Cracker Barrel. Kind of just scalloped potatoes, but with hash browns. They're cheesy, they're oniony, not in a bad way though. But they are heavy. Like, this is where most of my filling is coming from, is the casserole. And I think that's the key to Cracker Barrel, is their carb items weigh down so much on your stomach that you don't mind that the meat portions are a little smaller than most places. Surprisingly fantastic dish. And like, here's how impressed I am. That was a cold meal. That was reheated in the microwave. It had gotten all messed around in the car drive. But despite all that, it was good. It was really good. Sorry. Excuse me. Alright. And that is like, I'm very pleasantly surprised, because last time I got something uh, from Cracker Barrel that was, especially something that was uh, a cold item that you had to reheat, it was pretty nasty. But the biscuits Benedict, it's really good. Um, the one thing I will say though is that like the portion size for the entree versus the sides, a little weird, because like you have these two, you have two halves of a biscuit with two proteins. In my case, two sausage patties, two eggs, which is another protein, I guess, but and the hollandaise sauce, and then two big sides. I would maybe do four, especially for the price of $11. Four of your proteins, and then or four sausage patties, four strips of bacon, whatever, two or four eggs, two biscuits bisected. Well, um, But that's just me. I don't know. Your mileage may vary. And why did I get two things of hash brown casserole? Well, the other options were apples, which I didn't want mixing with everything else, and tomatoes, which I'm not a big fan of, and grits, which arguably are worse than hash brown casserole because, like, grits is just ground up corn. Um, I don't know. But yeah, that's way better than the meatloaf I had before. It heated up well, it tasted good. Um, but yeah, that's gonna be it for me today. Y'all have a good one. This is Royce Miller. I'm outie.